Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast NGO. This is Gwen, and this is your favorite sidekick Leo. So Leo, I know you've been pretty open your journey with gender habits. Oh man, absolutely. If I have a dinner every time I try to break out of my old routines, let me guess. You will be a better by now? You bet! I used to spend every working moment scrolling through names instead of, being a functioning adult. To be honest, knowing you now, that's hard to imagine. But it's one overnight transformation, was it? I really wish it was. It took me so many failure attempts before I finally become the person I'm today. So, have you ever wondered why some people seem to transform their life so easily, while others to keep stuck in same cycles? Isn't it because I just playing life on easy mode or something? The best news is there's no such as easy mode. The good news is science. It's just so long because space reasons very change and learn some proven method to break through barriers. We can easily flip ours over too. Now that sounds like something our listener and honestly, probably all of us can really use. Let's go! So before we talk about solutions, don't be honest about holding back. Yes, yeah, it will be usually suspect. Enemy number one is perfectionism. What is wanting to perfect a bad thing? Because we are perfectionists, you only want to start a perfect moment comes along. And what's wrong with that? The thing is, you never actually know what perfect moment is. It's like saying your workplace, your job, your that's our skill, yeah, bad. Oh man, you just called me out. I used to say I was still learning French seriously. When I get 2 hours the first day, guess what? Well, it never come. I better did. Perfectionism is also root of enemy number two. Oh, what's one? It's a negative self-talk. Like telling yourself, I'm just not good at this or I always screw up. Yeah, that best mistake internal monologue. Oh, I hate that voice in my head. It's like having a really mean roommate who better raise rent. I actually perfect way to put it. The voice comes from constantly worrying about making mistakes, fear of being judged, and not being able to meet your own possible standards. That explains why I had such a hard getting started with anything. I never feel confident enough thanks to my little friends. And it's so excited about potential up there, you tend to prefer staying in your comfort zone, which is enemy number three. I get that. We get so comfortable with the current situation that chance feels scary as hell, right? That's why a lot of people rather scroll through TikTok and Instagram or X, spend months learning. Well, I've been in their shoes, so I know how hard to break free from that comfort zone. The people Africa, we need to get uncomfortable. To grow with a butterfly has to go through a murder forces. That says, that's the house I can change the better. What if the chance for the worst? The fears of failures is in fact for enemy. This enemy is the worst one, I think. This one kind of related negative self-talk. The whole glass half full, half empty thing. But the truth is, you'll never be able to see it if you don't try. Oh, so really do miss 100% of the shots you don't take, pretty much. And the price a negative person has to pay. I guess sometimes we just need little push to actually change. You mean the motivation? Yes. Unfortunately, motivation is the final boss in the whole failure's battle. Seriously, why? Because it doesn't mean dangerous at order for enemies. People tend to overlook and they fall right into this trap. What is this trap? Motivated is tied to feelings like excitement or random spark of inspiration. But those things have a problem. What's that? They fade fast. You're right, it's come and goes like water. Even worse if the motivation cover outside resources. If that disappears, so there's your drive. I see motivation gets going, but it's running. Exactly. So if I live I should a gym, I should get motivations. I should just go. Why not? Unless you're injured, working out is never a bad move. You know what? If there are 5 enemies of chance were gram, I'd be locked up for life. Were you really that bad? Yes, I used to be totally hooked on dumb scrolling. I just lie back on watching meme on Reddit videos instead of, you know, going outside or doing anything actually useful. I'm glad you got out of that cycle. Yeah, a little black and blue, but I'm here and better off. But it's great because it means you are going to have to share. In the next part, we talk about these four strategies for people ready to turn around into stability already. So method number one is micro changes, or specifically 1% mindset. What the 1% mindset is the concept popularized by James Clear in his book Atomic Habits. The core idea is to improve by just 1% each day. It might sound stimulating at first, but over time, it's at a big way. Is this concept actually contrary? Well, let's do some math. Oh no, please don't math, relax. Jam didn't fall already, he said. And I quote, if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you earn the 37 times better the time you're done. Conversely, you have 1% worse each day for 1 year. You decline nearly down to zero. Interesting, but how much is 1%? Well, it depends on the individual. But we can put it like this. If you want to pick up new language, don't go and by climbing your story 3 hours every day. Oh, been there, done that, lesson learned. I was one or hyped to learn French and told myself I would study 5 hours a day. And then what happened? Apparently, I set myself a failure with that goal. I realized it could really drain me and demotivated real fast. True. Instead, to get better at English, French, and any other language, you can start with small and simple daily activities, like listening to the podcast or watching a sitcom. Yeah, that's still way easier. In fact, when I stopped pushing myself with this super intense studies plan and just starting watching random friend YouTube videos, I ended up learning more effective. That's how it's work. Small steps stack up. It's like, have you ever seen a bamboo plant grow? Not really, no. For the first few years, the barely see any growth. Then suddenly, it shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. That's crazy, I know. But the habits are just like bamboo. You might not see a result immediately, but it's building up underground. That's so cool. Alright, let's move to the second solution, which changes the way you view yourself. That sounds pretty serious. Not at all. The idea is very simple. You change how you see yourself before you change what you do. For example, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you say, I am someone who cares about health. And what is helpful? It's hard to stick behaviors if they don't match how you see yourself. If you're a negative self-image, your action will constantly battle it, eventually drag into back old habits. I see what's going on here. So the key is decide who you want to be, and then your action will flow identity. That's exactly what I mean. This reminds me of why I got so tired of my lazy identity and decided to change someone who's always trying to improve. I can see you work really well for it because look at you now. I'm so proud of you, Leo. Thanks, Gwen. I didn't realize that strip was so powerful until you explained it. It's huge. Once your identity changes, your habits follow. It's actually different from who you're becoming. I'm glad I changed, or else I will co-host or self-glamorous cat expert. Well, when I do things sounds like fun, I definitely prefer this person, Leo, my co-host. You bet. Now it's time for solution number 3 with environment design. That sounds like architect work, pretty much. Let me quote my favorite author, James Clear, one more time. Environment is invisible hand that shape human behavior. What's that? Our brain naturally looks for signal on surroundings. When the things that trigger a good habits obviously and in the plain sight, we're more likely to spot them and take action. Really? So if you want to read more, put a post on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, but fruits where you see them. What if I break the habit instead of building good one? To break bad habits, the opposite applies. Make the cues or signal for unwanted behavior invisible. For example, if you want to stop eating junk food, then keep it in the house. Oh, I didn't with my phone. I was spending too much time crawling, so I started putting in another room when I need to focus. I did a workout. Turn out, if the person is right next to me, I actually forget about it. Who knew? Sometimes it simply changes have a biggest impact. It's amazing how I actually apply your strategies to my life. Without even knowing it, I'm ready for the next solution. The next solution, which is also the last one, is just do it now. That self-familiar, like a certain slogan, be branded important attempt be friendly. Anyway, the idea is they act immediately regardless from whether you feel ready enough. Oh, so this is for all perfectionists out there? Yep, this directly fights our perfectionist enemy. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan, you done it better perfect, right? But myself. Then you mess up. The point is to take action, learn, and adjust. Every mistake teaches you something. Yo, I don't need to have it figured out. No. In fact, you can figure it out until you start doing now. You're trying to learn to write by reading about it. That actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't actually get on bike abruptly for a few many times. Same experience for me. So, our dear listeners, if you've been stuck in the same cycle, maybe not just be a problem. If the tutor you've been using have been raised with weapon, which one will you first to fight the battle? Gwen, I think it's time to go over some key vocabulary from our talk today. First, have something down bad. It means to know so well. For example, she practiced her presentation so many times. She had it down about the day of event. Second, be in someone's shoes. This means imagines being in someone else's situation. Or experiencing what you're going through. For example, I wouldn't just her. If I was in her shoes, I might have done the same thing. Third, be tied to something. It means to be closely connected to, restricted by something, like responsibilities or a place. For example, I would like to travel more, but I'm tired to my job right now. Fourth, be locked up. It usually means someone in jail. For example, he got locked up for stealing a car. Finally, it turns something around. It means to make a big positive change, especially after a bad situation. For example, the company was struggling, but new managers turned it around in just 6 months. Now it's time to wake with. Hit me. I'm ready. First question. Why is motivation kind of a trap? Easy, because motivation depends on feelings, and feelings are not reliable. It might you get started, but you want to keep you going. Nail it. Next question. Why do you need to change how you see yourself before you change what you do? Well, because if your habits don't match your self-image, they won't stick. Exactly. Short but very explained. Okay, before we wrap up, let's go over what we talked about today. So, before you fight a battle, you must know your enemies are perfectionism, negative self-talk, comfort zones, fear of failures, and waiting for motivation. You should also remember well your weapons. The 1% mindset, identity shift, environment design, and taking action immediately. And here's the thing, every moment is an opportunity to act like a person you are trying to become. Right now, this very second, you don't have to wait for Monday or next month when you feel ready. Remember everyone, change start with this is to act, not waiting for inspiration. Right, change is a daily practice, not a final destination. You already have everything you need to start. The only question is, will you begin today? Before your episode ends, pick one strategy out to act in right away. If you still hesitate, just remember, the best you plant the tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. Thank you for listening, everyone. See you next time. It's so amazing, bro.